Good afternoon, everyone. This is Mayor Heaton. I just wanted to give you the end of the week update on how things are going here at the city of Bardstown as we continue to deal with the outbreak of the COVID-19 virus. Obviously, a lot has changed in this past week. I'll kind of give you an overview of some of the things that we've already talked about on some of our earlier broadcasts. But as you know, earlier in the week, I issued a state of emergency order which gave the city more flexibility to do some executive orders to help us work through some of the problems we got to deal with. And obviously some of that had to do with the order that we would not have disconnects with utilities over the next 60 days, and we talked about that earlier. That has already started. We modified the temporary sign ordinance in order to help businesses within the city of Bardstown advertise the changing nature of how they are doing their businesses, particularly the restaurants with curbside and delivery and so forth. I participated in a conference call with the governor along with many other mayors here 2 days ago, and during the call he continued to stress, the social distancing and hygiene. But he also issued some more executive orders this week. One most recently was that prohibits mass gatherings. So again, he's just encouraging people, but now it's an executive order that prohibits large gatherings of people. So I talked about you can still continue to use our parks. You just can't have lots of people participating in group settings, large settings, or athletic activities, but certainly, individuals can use our parks and hopefully get out and enjoy some of the fresh air. Because of the judge and I both have issued emergency declarations, our head of EMS, Emergency Services here in Nelson County, Joe Pruitt, sent a request to the state to get more supplies, emergency protective gear for our first responders and for the hospitals. And good news on that. Yesterday, Joe informed the judge and I that we had been granted some new equipment, personal protective equipment, and also other equipment could be used. So that will be arriving today to supplement our first responders and the hospital. Here at the city, our staff and department heads, we've been meeting daily, many times twice a day, to assess the situations that we're dealing with as we try to operate all the services we provide. More staff will be working from home as we go forward. We're changing schedules. Some of the people in these various departments in order to make it more safe for them to work. It's just imperative that we try to protect both the public as well as our employees so that we can continue to provide these services. We have started or will be starting cross-training of some of our personnel. We have to make sure that we'll have adequate personnel in the event that we have sicknesses or quarantines that might affect, say, for instance, the operation of our water plant, our sewer plant, our electric services. So we're now going to be starting cross-training people who can supplement those departments, particularly in the event that they lose some staff, and we just can't afford an interruption of service to the community. These meetings and these decisions, a lot of times some of them are literally changing, sometimes daily and sometimes hourly, because of the various fluid nature of everything that's going on both here in Kentucky and around the United States. But we are working tirelessly to put the best plans in place to keep our operations going, but also protect the health and safety of the people who are working on your behalf. There's going to be a financial impact on the city of Bardstown, just like there is on so many businesses here in Bardstown. So we know our fourth quarter of this fiscal year that ends June 30th is going to have a major impact financially, and so we are already working with department heads to cut back on expenditures and just not make any unneeded purchases at this time. One of our department heads already has found in excess of $100,000 they can eliminate that between now and June 1st that is unneeded expenditures due to the changing nature of our operations. So it's things like that that we're going to continue to work on over the next months in order to keep our financial position as sound as possible. One major change that came about this week is the Attorney General, again with the governor's insistent that we try to eliminate as many meetings, public meetings of boards and agencies around the state in order to protect the health of everyone involved with media, the public, and the elected officials, has now issued an opinion that we can have our city council meeting this coming Tuesday remotely. We're still currently ironing out whether we're going to do this directly through social media and a live feed on that, or we may use PLG channel 19.2 and televise it more in a studio setting. But anyhow, we will have that worked out by Monday, and we will keep the media posted and the public posted. But the main thing is we will do this certainly in compliance with the Attorney General's opinion on the flexibility that he's now giving various boards and agencies to conduct their meetings remotely, just in effort to keep everyone involved safe. Our IT and cable departments, just as an aside to this, the reason we haven't got it worked out just now, as you might imagine, they have the use of cable and internet has just skyrocketed as the number of people who are at home now are using cable and internet. But we've been receiving notices from our local school systems that there are times now where as many as over 2,500 students are online at any one time. Now with the change in how schools are being taught and non-traditional training and studies are going about. So that's taxing our services, but we're working very hard to make sure we maintain the right speed and as much speed and reliability as we can for these services. I'd just like to close this week by just thanking all of you all for your cooperation this week. It's everyone, I can tell you that everyone within the city and the county and all our related agencies, we are staying in constant touch with each other and working tirelessly to maintain city government and public services. So it's been a very cooperative effort. I want to thank Judge Watts and Kim Houston and Jan Johnston and Joe Pruitt and of course the county sheriff's department and our PD and all our fire agencies and ambulance services for and public works both in the county level and the city level for all the cooperation. Everybody is working, doing all they can to cooperate with the needs of each other to keep this thing going. And number one is to provide as safe as environment as we can for all of you. We know that the recent announcements in our auto industry with the major manufacturers shutting their plants down is going to have a huge impact on some of our local industries. So our hearts and feelings go out to all those employees that are going to be displaced, hopefully just temporarily because of these announcements, but I think you're going to see a lot of effect on our local plants because of these changes that are happening. Some of our local distilleries are going to be working to produce hand sanitizers, and they're going to be distributing them to our first responders. And that's a wonderful news I got from some of the distilleries this week. Can't thank them enough for this help. It's just another example of this can-do spirit that we're working hard to get through this together. And finally, it is the weekend, and I know that on weekends many of us like to go out to our favorite restaurant and enjoy some of our favorite foods. And I would just again encourage you to, now you can still enjoy your favorite foods and even beverages now as they've loosened up some of the rules on restaurants and bars. You can still do that. Just get on the phone or go online and order delivery or curbside. It's a safe way to be able to enjoy your favorite meals and then also support your favorite restaurants and establishments, and you can do so in the comfort of your home. Thank you, and appreciate all the support and all the cooperation, and I'll see you next week.